Hey Anna, can I tell you something funny that happened yesterday?
Of course. I always enjoy your stories. What happened this time?
Well, I was making breakfast when I suddenly smelled something burning.
Oh no. Don't tell me you burned the toast again.
Worse, I was so busy watching a funny video on my phone that I completely forgot about the eggs.
So the eggs were burning while you were watching videos?
Exactly. And that's when I realized something interesting. But what was that? I know these stories happened yesterday, but I never know whether to say when or while. Sometimes I hear native speakers use when, and other times they use while. Honestly, it confuses me.
You're definitely not alone. Thousands of English learners have the same question. The good news is that it's much easier than it seems.
Really?
Absolutely. Today, we're not going to memorize grammar rules. Instead, we'll learn naturally through stories and real conversations.
I like that. Learning through conversation always feels easier.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Real English Podcast, where you improve your English through real conversations, practical vocabulary, and everyday situations. I'm Anna.
And I'm Daniel. Whether you're listening on your way to work, while studying, during a walk, or simply relaxing at home, thank you for spending your time with us.
Today's topic is one of the most common grammar questions English learners ask.
That's right. Today we're talking about when and while.
By the end of this episode, you'll know exactly when to use each word naturally. And you'll also hear lots of examples that you can start using today.
So grab a cup of coffee, relax, and let's begin. Anna, before we explain anything, can I make a guess?
Go ahead.
I think they're confusing because both words talk about time.
Exactly. That's the first thing to understand. Both when and while connect two actions that happen around the same time, but they don't describe those actions in the same way.
So the difference isn't really about time?
Right. It's about the type of action. Some actions happen very quickly. Other actions continue for a longer period.
Can you give us an example?
Of course. Imagine this situation. I was reading a novel in my living room. Suddenly, my phone rang.
Okay.
Which action lasted longer? Reading the novel or the phone ringing?
Reading the novel, definitely.
Exactly. Reading continued for several minutes, but the phone rang only once. So we naturally say, I was reading when my phone rang.
That already makes sense.
Notice that the longer action is, I was reading, and the shorter action is, my phone rang.
So when introduces the short action that interrupts the longer one.
Perfect. You already understand the basic idea.
Let me try one. I was taking a shower when someone knocked on the door.
Excellent. I was cooking dinner when my sister called me. Perfect again. I was sleeping when my alarm started ringing. Exactly.
Wow. I always thought grammar was about memorizing rules, but this actually feels logical.
That's because language is based on situations, not just rules. Once you understand the situation, grammar becomes much easier. Before we continue, let's learn a few useful words from today's conversation. Interrupt means to stop something for a short time. Example, the phone call interrupted my meeting. Ring means the sound a phone makes. My phone rang while I was eating. Suddenly means something happened unexpectedly. Example, suddenly it started raining. Knock means to hit a door so someone knows you're outside. Someone knocked on the front door.
These are words you'll hear in everyday English all the time. Now, story time.
Yes.
Anna,
Can I tell you another story?
Of course.
Last weekend, I was walking through the park when I saw an old friend from school. At first, I didn't recognize him because it had been almost 10 years. Then he smiled, waved at me, and suddenly I remembered everything.
That's a wonderful example. You were walking for several minutes, and then one short event happened. You saw your friend.
So, again, we use when.
Exactly.
I was walking when I saw my friend.
Perfect. Everyone listening, let's practice together. I'll say the first part of a sentence. You complete it in your mind. I was watching TV.
A natural ending could be when the electricity went out.
Another one. I was studying.
When my best friend called.
One more. We were eating dinner.
When Dad came home.
Great job! If those sentences felt natural, you're already understanding how when works.
Anna, I think I'm starting to understand when. But where does while fit into all of this?
That's a great question. Think about it this way. We usually use while when two actions are happening at the same time and both actions continue for a period of time.
So neither action interrupts the other?
Exactly. They're happening together.
Can you give me an example?
Example. Sure. Yesterday, I was cooking dinner while my brother was setting the table.
Both actions continued for a few minutes.
That's right. Cooking didn't interrupt setting the table, and setting the table didn't interrupt cooking. They happened together.
So we naturally use while.
Exactly.
Everyday examples. Let me try a few. I was listening to music while I was cleaning my room.
Perfect.
My parents were watching a movie while I was studying.
Excellent.
She was talking on the phone while she was walking home.
Very natural.
I think I'm beginning to see the pattern now.
That's exactly what I wanted.
Speaking of while, something funny happened to me last month. Uh-oh, I can already tell this is going to be good. I was texting my friend while I was walking through the shopping mall.
Let me guess. You walked into someone?
Not someone. A huge glass door.
You're kidding.
I wish I were. I thought the door was open. It wasn't.
Ouch. Were you okay?
My pride was hurt much more than my head. A few people looked at me. One little boy actually laughed. Even I had to laugh.
Well, at least you've given us a perfect grammar example.
That's true. I was texting while I was walking. Two actions happening together.
Here's something interesting. Native speakers don't always repeat I was. Oh, that sounds much smoother. Instead of saying I was cooking while I was listening to music, they often say I was cooking while listening to music.
Oh, that sounds much smoother.
It does. But if you're still learning English, it's perfectly okay to say the full sentence. Accuracy comes first. Natural shortcuts come later.
Now let's use when and while together. Anna, can a sentence have both when and while?
Absolutely. Listen to this. I was reading a book while my sister was cooking dinner when the lights suddenly went out.
Let me think. Reading and cooking were happening together, and then the lights went out.
Exactly. The first two actions continued for some time. The power cut happened suddenly.
So while connects the two long actions, and when introduces the short action.
Perfect. That's exactly how native speakers think.
Now, common mistakes. Can I make a mistake on purpose?
Go ahead.
I was eating dinner while my phone rang.
That's one of the most common mistakes learners make. The phone ringing is a short action. So we say, I was eating dinner when my phone rang.
Okay. How about this? I was sleeping when my brother was studying.
That sounds unnatural because both actions continued. A better sentence is, I was sleeping while my brother was studying.
I see. It's really about the type of action, not the words themselves.
Everyone listening, let's practice together. Repeat after us. I was cooking while my mother was reading. Excellent. Now repeat. I was walking when it started raining. Very good. One more. We were talking while the children were playing. Perfect. And finally, I was watching TV when my friend called. Great job.
Anna, let's play another game.
I love these.
I'll begin the sentence. You finish it.
I was driving.
When I saw a beautiful rainbow.
Nice. My parents were talking.
While I was doing my homework?
Perfect. I think our listeners should try making their own sentences too.
Absolutely. The more you practice, the more natural these expressions become. Now, let me share a simple memory trick that has helped thousands of English learners. Think of when as a camera taking a photo.
A photo?
Exactly. A photo captures one single moment. Imagine you're smiling for a picture. Click. That's one moment. That's how when often works. It introduces one event that happens at a specific moment.
I like that. So when is like taking a snapshot?
Exactly. Now think of while as a video.
That's probably the easiest explanation I've ever heard.
Let's test it. I was drinking coffee when my phone rang. Photo. One moment.
And I was drinking coffee while my friend was reading. Video. Both actions continue.
Perfect.
Can we hear some natural examples that native speakers use every day?
Absolutely. Listen carefully. I was driving home when I remembered it was my mother's birthday. I met my best friend when I was in college. I always listen to podcasts while I'm cooking. My brother was playing football while I was finishing my homework. I smiled when I heard the good news. We talked for hours while waiting for our flight.
Those sound so natural.
Because they're real situations. That's the best way to learn grammar. We hope today's conversation made when and while much clearer.
The next time you're speaking English, don't worry about being perfect.
Just think about the situation.
Is it one moment? Or two actions happening together?
Keep listening. Keep practicing. And little by little, English will begin to feel natural.
Thank you for spending part of your day with us.